10-Minute Jazz Lesson Podcast, episode 234. Hey everybody, welcome back to episode 234 of the 10-Minute Jazz Lesson Podcast. This week we are officially wrapping up our series on learning tunes in multiple keys. This has been a 5-week month. There have been 5 Fridays in this month, so we've really done a deep dive on this topic. And there's been a lot of activity in the 10-Minute Jazz Lesson Community Facebook group of people posting their progress on some of these tunes that I've given you. And it's been really nice to see the reaction. Apparently this was a really big topic for you guys. And I'm glad that we could come up with something that would engage you and, have you learn something new. So we are going to do our Tune of the Month episode here, and it is going to fit into the series, and I'm going to explain why in just a second. But if you're wondering how to get the etude that we are going to be putting out this week, you could do that by becoming a patron of the podcast. And if you're not sure how to become a patron, you can go to our website, 10minutejazzlesson.com, click on one of the Patreon banners, go over there and sign up for either $3 or $5 a month, and you will get instant access to every single episode that we've ever done and the PDF that goes along with that. We've got some brand new patrons to thank. We've got some new $5 patrons. Thank you to Jane and Reedman. And we've got 2 $3 patrons, Steve and Jesper. So thank you guys for signing up, being supporters of the show. And we look forward to giving you a lot of jazz materials. And thank you to everybody else, obviously, that's been signed up for a while. You guys are the ones that really make this podcast possible. So again, 10minutejazzlesson.com, click on one of the Patreon banners, get yourself signed up today. So this episode is going to be really short. This might be one of the first 10-minute jazz lesson podcasts that actually comes in under 10 minutes. I just want to kind of explain what I was thinking when I wrote this actual etude, and then I want to play it for you so that you know what you're going to get this month and how to utilize it. So writing an etude, it's tough to study playing tunes and melodies in different keys when I'm writing this super complicated etude, and I don't expect you to take the etude into multiple keys. That's going to be a really, really hard task, but major bonus points if you can take that etude and put it into a couple different keys. So the etude that we did is over the tune It Could Happen to You. And this is one of the tunes that people play in 2 different keys. Traditionally, this tune is played in the key of E flat, and it's also played in the key of F. And it just kind of depends on who you're playing with, what key they like to play it in, what key they know it in. So this is one of those tunes that you should be ready to play in 2 keys. So here's what I've done. I've written a 2-chorus etude over It Could Happen to You, but I've written it in the key of concert F. And I think that key, concert F, is the lesser played key. So the thing is, if you already know that tune, which I'm guessing a bunch of you out there do already know this tune, but I'm willing to put my money on most of you that do know this tune, you know it in the key of E flat, which is the more played key. So what you're going to have to do is learn it in F, right? Now, here's sort of the qualifier for what you're going to do for homework this week. Before you can even start on the etude, before you play a note of the etude that I wrote for you, you need to learn the melody to It Could Happen to You in the key of concert F. So what I want you to do is when I give you the backing track that I'm going to give you with this episode, you have to play the melody before you jump into the etude. So that requires you taking the melody of It Could Happen to You and learning it in a second key, learning it in concert F. Now, if you already know it in 2 keys, or if you learned it in concert F, you're in luck. But just do the opposite. Learn it in the key of E flat, right? So whatever you're doing, try to learn the melody to It Could Happen to You in a different key from what you already know. If you already know it in E flat and F, learn it in A, right? Or pick a key, whatever key you want. But the caveat to being able to play this etude that I've prepared for you is that you have to learn It Could Happen to You in a different key. Right. And like I said, bonus points, major bonus points to anybody who wants to put the actual etude into a different key. That would be fantastic and such a good exercise, although very, very difficult because it's 64 measures and I did not go easy on the material. It's a bit of a complicated etude. So once you put the melody into the key of concert F, the etude is going to be fantastic for you because it's really going to study that chord progression in the key of concert F. All right, enough talking from me. Let's get into playing through the etude so you can hear what you have coming at you this week, and then we'll chat for a minute at the end, and then we'll call it a day. Here is the etude over It Could Happen to You in the key of concert F. All right, so now you hear what you're going to get if you're a Patreon member this week, and I hope you enjoy that etude. There are definitely some chord substitutions, trying to do a lot over the 5 chords to play a little bit more outside the traditional harmony, and I think that'll be a fun one to just like take some lines out of and study some certain concepts. Again, if you have any questions about any of that material, you can always get in touch with me in the 10-Minute Jazz Lesson Community Facebook group. Lots of questions flying around in there, and we always get answers from other members, and I'm always monitoring that as well. So join the group. All right, everybody, thanks for tuning in. Have fun with the etude. Post a video or a recording of yourself playing the melody and the etude to It Could Happen to You in the key of F. I would love to see that. All right, have a good weekend, and we'll see you next week with a brand new episode. Bye, everybody. Stay safe and healthy.